So I would say middle class Parel boy, every few years wakes up, lives and works in some of the world's best cities.
Welcome, Sanjay. It's so nice to have you on my show, Jagged with Jasravee, Conversations at the Edge with thought leaders from the marketing, branding, and consumer world.
It's such a pleasure to be with you, Jasravee. It's been years, I think, 10, 15 years since we last sort of seen each other.
So you have seen the world literally across and in the communication space. So, you're in touch with people and you're in touch with where the world is moving, where is the direction of evolution. And it's very evident that the Gen Z millennials are opting for preferring different kind of brands that have a sustainable orientation. Rather, they walk the talk. Brands that have a bold attitude and not very correct sometimes, but very authentic, kind of brands. So, and is that impacting? No, so we see smaller brands, suddenly coming up like a Mama Earth or a Patagonia. It's almost like a movement. Yet they are doing what they believe in. Is that impacting how global MNCs are looking at building brands and how they organize their communication models?
You're right. Actually, it has been quite a change for them because MNCs, by virtue, have been the ones to rule the roost and the king of the hill, so to speak, right, for a long time. And these brands or local brands actually now, which were earlier considered to be like a little makhi, as they say, it's giving them sleepless nights. And there's a lot that they themselves, I believe, have created that problem in the way they've been slow to react, in the way they haven't really, they've sort of disregarded or ignored competition in these markets because of the way they are structured. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that in many ways, a lot of the MNCs, and I'm just generalizing Jasravee to make a point, okay, with no judgment towards my own clients or anybody that I've worked with.
Absolutely, yeah.
But in many ways, multinationals have always been, they've come from this broadcast and propaganda generation. Like it's almost like our parents used to tell us, like, "Main jo keh raha hu, wo sahi hai, aap meri suno." So they've always been from that mind space, but they controlled the narrative, and that's what has made them successful all these years, right? That's what they used to do, and in many ways, they now are realizing that just having the ability to control the narrative or having deep pockets to throw behind the propaganda, that doesn't guarantee success anymore in marketing. Like the great combination of ये मेरे पास ad है और मेरे पास इतने पैसे हैं, that's enough that I need to. That really is no guarantee of success.
Wow.
And in many ways, you're right. It's also because thanks to the internet, and I know we keep using the internet, blaming it for everything and also giving it credit for everything. But I think generally speaking, for competition now, the barriers to entry in these big categories where MNCs used to operate has reduced. It's easier today for them to have access to, let's say, product technology the internet, and therefore digital as a medium of comms, which doesn't cost as much as a TV spot used to do. So they don't need to have as deep the pockets that these people had, right? So in many ways, they have these are the kind of companies, the ones you mentioned, the digital to consumer brands today, whether it is Patagonia, whether it's something like Glossier, that I'm sure you're familiar with, or even the Dollar Shaving Club. These guys have actually broken this marketing mafia chain of controlling the narrative, controlling distribution. All that control, the mafia control, has gone off. But there's no middleman anymore. They control the whole the process. They have a lot of agility because they are on digital. Their agility is that much more. In many ways, I always think of multinationals as a big mothership. बहुत time लगता है for it to turn in some direction. It's just like बहुत time लगता है. Turns. So that agility is something that the competition has now brought to it. And because they're largely digital centric, Jasravee, they have so much data that they generate as a consequence of the way they are, right?
Mm.
And that's really becoming like they're always there. And that's the biggest benefit that these brands that you mentioned have. I think, therefore, a lot of changes have come through it. I've been witness to that slowly but surely, and now even more rapidly over the last 20 years. So I think this whole mothership is giving way to little baby ships, nimble ones, in the way they are being
Mhm.
organized. This whole concept of कि मैं global team हूँ, मैं बैठा हूँ यहाँ पर in one place, and I will tell the world what to do. I think that's being dismantled surely, but definitely it's being done that because what they're doing now is global team hai, but what they're
Mhm.
doing is they're redeploying the global teams into places where the center of gravity of the brand is. You go and work where your consumers are actually living. Don't just sit in a place far removed from them, not just geographically, but even attitudinally. Go there. So I think they're
Wow.
being redeployed into
Mhm.
these markets, and you'll see a lot of global teams that sit now in different corners of the world as part of one global team, which otherwise never happened before. It was like, let's go to the darbar where the global heads sit and then get our instructions and then move on. So that's actually dismantling. That's a good thing. um, Importantly, I think the arrogance that MNCs have given away to a little bit of acceptance. Ki, yeah, this is real. We better sort of do something about it. And in
Mhm.
many ways, that's resulted, I think, in a bit of humility. Uh, from that level of arrogance to a far more humble approach in the way they talk to consumers. Uh, it was just like, I'll tell you why you should buy me. Suno meri baat kind of thing. Yeah. I think that why you should buy me has changed and is changing to, why am I more relevant in your life today?
Mhm.
I think that thing about telling you why and creating relevance up, kahin bhi jao, in every multinational, there are many buzzwords, of course, every day comes is a new buzzword, but relevance is becoming a big part of everything that they are talking about. How am I relevant? How am I relevant? How am I relevant? Not about what's so great about me. I think that humility, forced or Zen, one day nirvana type humility has come to them. And I think that's really helping in the way they do it. I think also there's one big thing I've been noticing, and this is not an India thing or an America thing, but this whole foreign fad, jo hai na,
जी.
it's international. I think that has faded, and that's also again let's blame the internet because accessibility. I think accessibility not just to the actual brands themselves, but even knowing about them. Pehle like I was when I was in college, every aunt who was coming back from the States, like यार एक Nike जूता खरीद के मुझे ले
हाँ,
आओ, ये बाटा
yeah,
पहनने से अभी बहुत हो गया है. So
yeah.
that access has made it sort of has made a big difference. And surprisingly, I think this nationalism that we keep talking about, कि we are becoming a nationalist country, that's happening just about everywhere you go. I mean, in degrees, obviously, but it is there very much. And I think multinational brands are now taking pains to say कि हम यहाँ के हैं,
हाँ,
we are off the land. So making sure that whatever they do communicate, they're making a very conscious effort to be seen as of the people rather than from outside. So that's really helping. And in doing so, I think one of the big things about multinational brands earlier was like, this is what we are and this is what we will be. Bhale we are in Timbuktu or in Tibet, this is how we will be. I think that's changing. They don't mind living with or are forced to live with the fact that you could mean something in France and you could mean something totally different in Indonesia. And now they're coming to terms with that because that control about my brand, the holy brand I should not touch, is giving away to a lot more pragmatism. I think that's really some of the shifts that I've seen about both in the way they are structured, in the way they are looking at the new age companies coming in, and what they are trying to do, both in terms of relevance, in terms of being a little more humble. And that's really sort of, and to be fair, they are succeeding as a consequence of this, or fighting back or doing right. So yes, there's not everything is bad with my poor multinational friends, but yes, it is.
Oh God, this reverse thing is prevalent everywhere. But thank you, so beautifully explained with such nice metaphors. Keeping this thought ahead, taking it ahead. Sanjay, you have, like you initially said, you've had the privilege of witnessing so many different cultures. India, US, Shanghai, Bangkok, China,
Singapore now.
and
Yeah.
one more
Now
country,
in
right?
Singapore. Yeah.
Singapore. You're right now in Singapore, right? So, and you have worked on brands that are focused on baby and moms. So, there is a lot of evolution going on in every segment, and you have been privy to even the what's common, what is universal about these changes. So could you share certain shifts in the psyche of a mother? Could you share, I like to title this Sanjay Srivastava's view of mom's
Oh
evolution
God help.
beyond the cliches, beyond the cliches.
Yeah, Vika. Just happy to share some of the observations I've had beyond what research throws at you, or what call agencies try to caricaturize into little
Okay.
columns. So in many ways, Sriri, I've seen that there is a quite a paradox, and I will try to explain this in a way I can. But the nature of the paradox seems to suggest that आपने ये कहा अभी आप ये कह रहे हो, but that's the nature of the paradox, that's the
Hmm.
way they are.
Hmm.
And so, for example, I've seen this, and I'm again generalizing to make that point across various geographies. Uh, Moms today actually are more independent, and that's not a cliche. But when you
Yes.
look back, the reason why I think that independence is happening also because they are having children on their own timeline and their own terms. Like uh,
Hmm.
when no one is looking at at a woman and saying, "अरे तुम 30 साल की हो गई, तुम्हारी उम्र में तो मेरे तो दो बच्चे पैदा कर दिए थे." And I mean, I'm sure science is playing a part and knowledge is playing a part, but they're
Yes.
willing to have kids even later,
Yes.
as a consequence of which today's moms are more likely to
Hmm.
be like already have graduated or post-graduated and
Hmm.
almost 5 or 7 or 10 years into a career before they think of
Hmm.
having a baby, which was not the case before, right?
Yeah.
So the ability to like, I was a girl, I got married, I became a mom. That was
Hmm.
how life went. Today I'm a girl, I graduated, I post-graduated, I'm working, I'm in
Hmm.
middle management, let's say. There's a
Hmm.
lot that happened before I have now become a mom. And therefore this struggle is about trying to not give up all that she has been through and achieved just because
Yeah.
she's become a mom. It's easy to say balance and mom, but it's that there's so much invested already that it's not easy to just give it all away
Yeah.
in that sense. So
Yes.
uh, also what has happened is in many ways in some cultures, and therefore I said it's a paradox, as much as uh, moms are have come into momhood later after having
Hmm.
built a certain foundation in their professional life. There are
Hmm.
also moms who are actually very happy being a mom full time. Okay, in many ways they are like this whole, there's no guilt ki, oh, I'm a full-time mom, and they wear that badge with a lot of pride.
Hmm.
They just want to be recognized for it, in terms of the fact that it is something that is a profession in its own right. It has a job description that is as complex as you and I might have ever seen in our lives,
Yes.
and they are happy being in that space. Many a times, I'm not talking about the career moms. So there are the career moms who we spoke about. Then there are the moms who are who have come up into motherhood early. They're happy being a mama. Many of them actually, Jasravee, are now trying to do more. It's only because of economic reasons, not because they feel a sense of big guilt or whatever. And when I'm saying economic reasons, meaning I'm just saying that the cost of bringing up children today, the aspiration children have today leads
Yeah.
to aspirational costs as well, right? I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of education and
Yeah.
exposure and where they want to go. And
Yeah.
she wants to be seen as an equal contributor financially. Because, all right, she's doing her bit, bringing up the kids, but she understands the burden, the financial burden of that, and she wants to be a part of
Hmm.
that contribution financially as well. Therefore, she tends to work. But what has also happened? There was this when I was in China, there was this old saying by Chairman Mao. He said women should hold up half the sky, in the sense that others, you also do your bit, and the men should be. I think therefore you see in many of these countries, China, Thailand, Southeast Asia, women make up a big part of that workforce. They're holding up half the sky. Half the sky
Yeah.
the man is holding up. Half the sky the woman is holding up. It's a bad Mandarin back translation, but you get the picture of both being
Yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah.
a bit. Yeah? Um, and so that's what they are doing. And big again, my favorite blamer in chief or creator in chief, the internet and technology. Uh, because now people have access to technology, they are also doing things, Jasravee, that are not quite classically a job, but they are
Hmm.
becoming entrepreneurs. Some of them
Hmm.
are setting up. My wife, for example, used to work in Lintas many years ago. Uh,
Hmm.
Now our daughter is 21. She's a mom and has been for some time, but now she's also an accomplished artist, designer. She has her online shop on Etsy. Now, for her, that's work and that's business
Hmm.
and that's entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
She doesn't have to go to an office to
Hmm.
feel that she is now a professional. And I think the
Yeah.
kind of jobs, the kind of opportunities that the internet is throwing up is
Hmm.
giving these moms that ability to balance
Hmm.
without having to be like, as you said, no, like मैं साड़ी में हूँ, अब मैं business suit में हूँ. You don't have to be in either and still
Hmm.
be a dual, a mom as well as
Hmm.
a professional. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
So that's happening in many ways. Also, this the notion of shared responsibilities is a big thing. We
Hmm.
advertisers unfortunately get very caught up in, oh, mom, you are the fulcrum of the house. अगर आप नहीं हो तो फिर नहीं चलेगा घर. Actually, moms are just dying for those damn dads to chip in and do
Hmm.
something along with it. We never exploit that. Very few brands do it. I've always been a big fan of Ariel when they did the share
Share
the
the
load.
load. Yeah.
I think it's a really deep-rooted sort of desire of women to
Hmm.
have that part, the better half or the worst half, actually, in most cases, share the load, pick up the load. Uh, Singapore, just very interestingly, not many women would want to get married, not just because of the career bit, because they
Hmm.
are fearful of the
Hmm.
fact that यहाँ पर the men are lazy as hell. मैं शादी कर लूंगा, I'll be the one doing twice the job, and I don't
Two
want to be doing
jobs.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 jobs. And I think more and more as we sort of get men to feel that they are a man if they wash the clothes or if they do the dishes. Uh, that much better will it be in terms of making women and moms feel that they have more to offer
Hmm.
in that sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So very relatable and so true. So much is changing, no, Sanjay. So all those reasons, why women took up work, those reasons are changing. Those shifts have happened. That I remember, moms telling that if you keep working after your marriage, you will have an identity, you'll step out of the house, you'll have your own friend circle,
True.
because those things got taken away the moment a woman entered someone else's house, their identity and everything. Now that is not happening. And you can have, and people don't want just a job anymore. I mean, that, like you said,
Correct.
I am just responding to whatever you've said, and it really resonated, that I want something that fulfills me, and I don't have the financial pressure, so I'm actually in a better position to think it through and make a choice, towards what I
Absolutely.
really want to do is.
Yeah, it's very liberating, the
Yeah.
moment all that pressure goes off the timeline, I mean, poor women, I mean, if there anything I can say that they've been working to a timeline, not of their own making.
Yeah.
It has always been set somewhere that at, at this age you will do this, at this age you will do this. I think that now elasticity has come through, and I think they're just liberated from those
Yeah. and
timelines, and
and
then they feel
and
liberated.
yeah, and both things competing at the same time, that age, that stage of your life, when either you can excel in your career, or go for that biological clock, and all, the entire pull also. science is helping resolve
Yeah,
that.
but science is helping. The clock is now can tick away a little longer than it used to
Yeah,
apparently tick away. So,
it's
ठीक है,
been
as
recalibrated. Yeah.
recalibrating the clock. Seriously.
Awesome. So very nice. So I'm so nice to hear that this is happening across the globe. What you told us is that you're seeing this in Singapore, you're seeing this in China, you're seeing this in US, and of course, in India as well, because we're becoming more and more a global entity. So Sanjay, now okay, itna gyan diya aapne.
Sanjay's view on mom's God help. I'm just fearing what people will say, but
And
yes.
beyond the cliches.
हम है राही प्यार के, हमसे कुछ न बोलिए। हम है राही प्यार के, हमसे कुछ न बोलिए। हम है राही प्यार के, हमसे कुछ न बोलिए। जो भी प्यार से मिला, हम उसी के हो लिए। God, oh Lord help. Can I phone a friend and all in the middle of all this?
No.
You phone a friend?
No,
Oh
none
God,
of this.
okay.
Favorite travel destination?
Spain.
Sudeshna's most often used phrase, your wives.
You guys are because I am.
She knows.
बराबर है.
Preferred food cuisine.
Thai.
One thing no one knows about you.
That I can play 4,000 songs with just 4 chords of the guitar.
Favorite Avenger
Favorite Avenger?
or
Iron
superhero?
Man.
Okay. Tia's favorite Avenger? Your
All of
daughter.
them.
I love her. Mom's best advice.
Be kind, be good. The rest will follow.
A book you'd like to give to all your friends.
Pandemonium by Piyush Pandey.
Oh, okay. Nice. Shanghai.
Amazing tale of two cities, old and new. Sorry, I didn't mean to elaborate.
I remembered. What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
You've done well. Don't change anything.
Most inspiring celebrity.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Superb. You did so
I survived.
well.
I survived. Damn, I was just afraid I'll be like riddled with your bullets. Listen, do what I'm saying. It would be really good if you could subscribe to Jasravee's channel. I have stumbled upon it because some of my friends were on it, and I was amazed at the level of conversations and in the nuggets that are hidden in this rather seemingly casual encounter. I promise you'll really come off a lot wiser, a lot more aware, and you wouldn't even realize you have, because the way she conducts her conversations just sounds really cool and casual. Go for it. Like, subscribe to Jagged with Jasravee, and it's the best thing that you will be able to.